Hey champions, this is Arian, Tyson out of St. Louis, Missouri, and I just want to come back at you to shoot a quick video. I want to encourage you today because it is the last Friday of the first quarter of 2014. And so I was just thinking about it. I'm leaving the gym. I'm got a great workout in. You know, the enemy tried to get busy because I had a number in mind as far as the number of calories burned, and I missed it by 27 calories. But the reason I missed it was not because I stopped. It's not because I said I quit. It's because the machine I was on paused for some reason, and I'm pressing quick start to resume the machine, and the button is not working. And as a result, it ended the workout for me, but I was not done. And so I got to around 870 something calories burned, and I had a little bit less than 2.5 minutes to burn 27 calories. Yeah, I could easily do that. That's nothing. So I'm saying to myself, you know, could I have gotten mad? I got mad for just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because there were times where I wanted to get out the machine because I was sweating profusely. I mean, I was sweating all over my body because I was going hard in the paint. But there are times where you need to take a breather. And so I want to encourage you, because normally, you know, this is basketball season, and we're about to go into the playoffs starting at the end of next month. And I'm mindful of the fact that it's the end of the first quarter. And normally, the subs that came in, and this really is the first time that, like, if you're a superstar, this is the first time where you really get a breather before the second quarter begins. So I want to encourage you to get your second wind, because you are in a marathon, not a sprint. And let me be clear. In a basketball game, it is 48 minutes. Now, in between the 48 minutes, there are breaks, whether it's timeouts, whether it's injury timeouts, and then there's halftime. And it is at that moment where you are able to get breathers. You have to learn how to pace yourself when you're going in a marathon, because if you don't pace yourself, you will burn out, and you will burn out faster than you should. Well, for one, you shouldn't burn out, but you will lose the race because you don't have the endurance to finish the course. It is not necessarily how you start, it's how you finish. And sometimes the greatest teams, the greatest players get off to rocky starts. Some players get off to great starts, but then they go absent in the second half. And so, just like a great movie, what determines how great a movie is? Is it the start or is it the finish? Theoretically, it's the finish. But in the midst of time, you have to get a second wind. Sometimes you have to get a third wind to finish the race, because the race is not given to the swift, nor is it given to the strong, but it is given to those that endure to the end. It is given to those that have the endurance, the staying power. to finish the race. And I want to encourage you today that if you're going to start something, you downright better finish it. You best to finish it. It is not up for discussion. Don't start nothing if you have no intention on finishing it. Leave nothing undone. If you want to start a new chapter in life, you better make sure old business is finished. You better make sure that you put a period where it's supposed to be a period instead of putting a comma. Right? You have to realize this. This is important. Because when it's all said and done, people make the mistake of going back and reading old chapters, trying to write old chapters, and they've already started a new chapter, and then the story doesn't make sense. How will your story read? How will it read? Learn the importance of putting a period where a period is supposed to be, and stop putting commas where periods are supposed to be. But I want to challenge you today, as it is the last Friday of the first quarter of 2014, that if you have been on the bench because you didn't finish the first 12 weeks of the year, that you weren't able to finish it, then I challenge you to get back in the game. It's time to re-up and reload. It is not a sprint to the finish. It is a marathon. You have to pace yourself. It is time to finish the first quarter strong and get ready for the second quarter. You had to remove some things. You had to start making some adjustments. It didn't feel comfortable. It didn't feel comfortable. Now your body's getting acclimated to the game. This is where the real game begins. The second and third quarter. That's where you really start to get a feel for the game. You can consider the first quarter practice. But now we're talking about the game. Some people didn't even make it through practice. That's crazy. Some people didn't even make it through practice. And they wonder why they can't stay in the game, why they can't get in the game. We're not talking about practice right now. We're talking about the game. And you have to be willing to get in the game in order to win, in order to make an impact. And if you want to be prosperous, and if you want to get closer to the abundance that you deserve, it's time for you to make a decision. It's time for you to get your second win and get your behind back in the game. I challenge you to reach out to me. I challenge you to lock arms with me. I challenge you, if you fell off, it's time for you to get ante up and get back in. Click the link below and get back with the team. Because even the best of us have bad quarters. But champions are able to rise above the adversity. And if you're able to rise above the adversity that you felt in the first quarter, then I welcome you. My team welcomes you with open arms as we start the second quarter. Click the link below and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.